Here's what we're going to do today. We thought we'd share with you a little bit about our living space here in the bus, because we talked about it last couple of weeks. We talked a little bit about it. So we're just going to take a little tour. Some of the things.
It's changed a lot since we built the bus. It's changed. So even people that saw it.
Right. Yeah, it's changed a bit. You know, we've made some adjustments about here and there. And if you haven't seen it yet, well, then this will be your first tour. So anyways, here we are, just checking it out. So let's start over here in the kitchen. That's a basic kitchen. Anyways, you can see the stove and the countertop. We are making some adjustments, talking about putting up some shelves
to
clear up
a new countertop.
Yep, clear up some of that space on the countertop.
And a new sink and a new faucet.
Yeah, so the next time you see it, we should have a new sink and faucet, some shelves probably up here on the top, and that's that. So anyways, the bed's fairly simple.
Takes up most of the room.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of the room, but we've got a shelf up above that we didn't have before. We
got cubby holes.
We created a small little side table. We had a big one there. You can see a gap between the toilet and the table, or the side table. Well, there used to be a big table there with no gap between the two, so we've got a little bit more room there to have a conversation with Mother Nature when that needs to occur. And then over here, this nifty little furniture piece we put in. We saved some space on our organizational clothing, so you know, we've got bins there for clothes and a couple of shelves for other things, and then the top shelf. So this was just a little table with no organizational storage space underneath. There were no cubbies, so we had some things just kind of shoved up under there. That didn't work for us, so we cleared out the space. Now you can see a lot of the floor that wasn't there before. And
the floor was there before. You couldn't see it.
You couldn't see the floor because things were sitting on top of it. So we cleared out that space, and part of that effort meant that big table that was there went away, which had our clothes in it, and now they're over here, and they're more organized and easier to get to, and that's a wonderful thing. Over here is our desk work area / dining room.
People that saw the bus at the beginning, there was no table.
Yeah, if you saw it in the very beginning, you might not have seen a table. We did have a wood table.
A square one.
Square wood table that came way out to like here. And
the base was out further.
Yeah, it was a little bit
it was wonky.
It was a little bit wonky and a little tight space for a fat guy to get through. So we got a smaller table. We just bought this at Walmart. It's thinner.
It's a coffee table.
Yeah, it's a coffee table, but it's thinner than the other table. And we moved it in closer to the sofa so we could actually use it as a desk
and a
table. And it actually looks quite nice, I think. And it gives us both room on the table. Another thing about the table, while it spun, the big wooden table we had, was while it spun,
this one still spins.
like that does. We could angle it so that we could both sit on the sofa, but we were angled instead of sitting straight.
Right.
This way we can sit straight, and it's more comfortable, and we're happy about that. Over here, we've got bookshelf. Those were there built in the beginning. There's a little bit of an organization, but the books are there. Little nice plaques there for some home comfort. And then here's the big shelf that was over by the bed. We moved it and made it smaller. Thank you, Teresa. And now it's sort of a cubby hole where we put cleaning supplies and things like that.
The stuff you need when you walk out the door.
Yeah, things you need quickly, or cleaning supplies. It's just a good place to put things that are handy when you're ready for them and when you need them.
Because our coats and jackets
Yeah.
hang above them.
And those will probably go away at some point. We're
No.
talking about making a...
The coats and jackets will stay. Even if I make a closet in the cab area, the coats and jackets will stay right there.
Okay.
The hanger clothes would hide behind that curtain, but I don't...
Yeah, we're talking about making the cab a closet space, either a closet space for clothes or additional storage space, because we're not going to be driving the bus.
No.
It's going to be a stationary winter home for us here in Texas, and so we'll probably only be living here after this year. We'll probably only be here maybe late fall through late winter, and then we'll be on the road probably the rest of the time. And so we're just organizing some things, changing a few things here and there to make it more practical for the time that we plan to spend in it. And anything else?
No. Oh, we're not putting the shelf up there.
You're not putting the shelf up there?
I'm not putting the shelf up there.
Oh, why not?
Because I like it open.
She likes it open. Okay. Change order number 542.
I'm putting lights up there.
So lights.
They should be in.
Wonderful. Some of the other things we've been doing is we have been doing some farm chores for Mom and Dad. We put up the walls, sheetrock walls, to
in the well house.
To my dad's well house. So we've been doing that in the evenings.
You can sit down, and they can see you.
How wonderful! Yeah, we've been doing this so we're doing that in the evenings after work and all that. So it took 2 or 3 different evenings to get the well house sheetrock. We still got to do the ceiling, but we are doing other things. Some other things. My brother-in-law is putting up a fence around his yard, and so I'm helping him do that.
On one side of his yard.
On one side of his yard, yeah. And, while we were away, my parents and my nephew and my sister, all who live adjacent to each other on an 8-acre plot of land, each with ownership of some parts of that, they all put a fence around the front part of the property to keep out the neighborhood dogs. Just in the last couple of years, they've acquired some new neighbors right across the street. They have dogs, and those dogs tend to roam around. So the family put up a fence around the front of the property to keep out the dogs. But my sister, who lives on the end of the property, they still have the side part of the property that is not fenced, and so we're putting up a fence there. And last weekend we put up the poles. We dug holes, put up the poles. So this next weekend we'll probably be putting up the fence. And there's a barbed wire fence on the back end of the property that runs the full length of the 8 acres, or I guess it's about 4 acres wide. And we're taking that down because the neighbor behind put up a electric fence for his cows, and they're going to put up a horse fence. My parents and nephew and sister, our brother-in-law, will be putting up a horse fence on the back end of the property.
Same as what we have in the front.
Yeah, same as what we have in the front. And more recent than that, even probably what we do, there's another barbed wire fence directly behind my dad's house. They had fenced in a part of the pasture area for a horse and some cows that they had a while back, many years ago. Now they have no livestock. They don't need that fenced-in area. And so after some discussion, we've decided to tear down that fence. So likely here in the next week or so, we'll be tearing down that fence and making the whole acreage all open area. And so we've put off moving the bus from its current location. Remember last week and we talked about moving the bus. We actually put that off until we tear that fence down. So once we tear the fence down, then I'll move the bus over there where we're planning to, and make that our staging area for our new home, for our winter home. And then I guess the rest is kind of details and living. So we're settling in for the winter, getting settled in. It's still hot here, still in the 90s. Early mornings are cooler. Last couple of days we've been in the 60s.
Nice. I needed a jacket this morning to have my coffee out front.
That felt real good. The leaves are beginning to fall, so that's a good sign that the temperature will soon be in decline, and we'll be in the fall, and probably by October
And the rain.
Things will be feeling nice. Although that is rainy season, so it probably will rain. But the temperature will be much more bearable, and then usually falls here are fairly short, and then you get into winter, and we'll be doing another cycle. So that's where we stand.
There you go.
Anything new other than that?
Nope.
Well, there you have it. The next door, the across the street neighbors not only have dogs, but they also have a horse, and I'm surprised that horse isn't yelling at me right now. It likes
you.
Likes to make its opinion known on the regular. They keep him tied up, so I guess he's objecting. Anyways, hey, ciao. See you next week. Don't forget to like us and share us with your friends. And hey, if you like what we're up to, subscribe. Oh, one more thing. Soon we'll be coming at you with some great stuff, footage from here in Texas, the great state of Texas. Look for it soon.
That's 3 weeks out.
Yeah, well, soon.
Okay.
We'll be looking at you.